It's Colorado Matters. I'm Ryan Warner. Pet owners aren't just turning to veterinarians anymore. In some cases, they're seeking legal advice. A growing number of lawyers are helping human clients provide for pets in their wills, negotiate animal custody after a divorce, or sue for wrongful death. There's even a push for judges and lawmakers to change the way pets are viewed under the law. Denver attorney Jennifer Thomaitis specializes in animal law. She filed one of the nation's first class action lawsuits over tainted pet food from China. She joined me in the studio. So what's going on here? Help me understand this. Why has taking care of pets become so important that it's actually evolved into a field of law?
It's evolved into a field of law because of the way people feel about their pets, from pet custody issues to doggy daycares to the billions we spend on our pets each year.
And do you think that is intensifying?
I think it's a growing trend. Certainly, as far as pet custody issues, I'm noticing that people are having children less and less, and that pets are becoming the children in the relationship. And then when there is a marital breakdown, unfortunately, they end up fighting about who gets custody of Fluffy.
We're going to talk more about this in just a few minutes. You've actually filed one of several class action suits on behalf of people whose pets died in the tainted food case. How many clients do you have with that?
There are well over 100.
And are they in Colorado?
Most of them are in Colorado, but we also have clients in surrounding jurisdictions. We are specifically in Colorado suing the Chinese companies on down to the manufacturers, distributors, and retailers, in fact.
And what are you asking for in damages?
Well, we're asking over $5 million. We're asking more specifically for economic damages. We're asking for non-economic damages. We're asking for punitive damages.
I mean, obviously for the loss of the pet, and for what else? I mean, more specifically.
Well, they want their veterinary bills paid for, their cremation costs. As far as the non-economic damages, there's emotional distress. There's loss of companionship.
Is it typical that courts would award damages for pain and suffering when it comes to animals?
In a few jurisdictions they have.
In Colorado?
Not specifically Colorado, although we have been awarded damages in Colorado for things that are property. And that, in the eyes of the law, is what an animal is at this point in most places.
So if you were to get those kinds of damages for your clients, it would be based on the notion of property.
Well, we hope to elevate the status of animals beyond mere property, because I think an animal is more than just this chair sitting next to me.
And so is this something that you would push for on a state level, I mean, in the Capitol?
Absolutely.
And is that an effort that you would see as soon as next session, or what?
Possibly.
How would declaring pets different than property, how would that change the system? What does that represent?
I think it represents our moral attitude. We feel very strongly about our pets. Judges at this point really don't know how to handle it. It's sort of a gray area. I think it would provide some more definition to the legal system.
And if you were to make pets more than property, does that in some ways make pet owners guardians?
You know, interestingly, Boulder was the first jurisdiction in the country to change the laws from pet owner to pet guardian.
Did that change much, having one municipality do that?
You know, a lot of the fear that's associated with changing the status of animals and changing it to a pet guardian status, there's a fear that there will be the floodgates of litigation will open. I think it's interesting that in a lot of these jurisdictions, a total of 16 in the country, that there really hasn't been this floodgate of litigation.
The American Veterinary Medical Association, I think as you already alluded to, opposes this notion of guardianship. And in a 2005 statement said, the guardian, this is the person considered the owner now, would always have to consider the pet's interest above everything else. A pet owner could decide to keep a dog in a kennel rather than roaming around the backyard. But if family members or animal rights groups disagreed, they could sue and argue that that wasn't in the dog's best interest. Now, you say the floodgates aren't going to open, but could this change what we perceive to be the rights and responsibilities toward animals?
I think what you're hearing from that is fear. We take the property status away, we elevate them, and then they can no longer do the things that they're doing now, and that's just absolutely untrue.
Do the things they're doing now? What do you mean by that?
Show dogs, and vets would have to take higher precautionary measures, and there would be higher malpractice insurance and so forth. That is proven time and time again to be false.
But I can imagine being a vet and thinking, wow, if the status of the animals I treat is raised legally, boy, what could that mean for malpractice? What could that mean for my livelihood.
It means that they have to be responsible, and I think that's why everyone that became a veterinarian did. They loved animals. I think that's the very root of why they went to school to do what they're doing.
Jennifer, thanks very much for speaking with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.